Hey, Migtoes. Nothing really momentous going on, just enjoying the harvest. The raspberries have finished producing. Man, these things are like candy. I'm gonna have to pick a few quarts. Man, they're friggin' loaded. I've been picking up the apples, and man, these trees are producing much better than they did last year. I think that early frost, or that late frost last year, wiped out the blossoms, and I only got like 20% of what I normally got. Still, a lot of it went to waste. The apples, they just fall, and then they're all smashed up. Maybe you can see way up there on the top of the tree, there is just freaking crazy tons of these things. And when they fall, they just smash. It's kind of a waste. Every once in a while you get one that's fallen from a lower branch, and that's salvageable. Man, a lot of food's going to waste here. Man, it's split. I picked up another full bucket just like this, so that was 6 gallons. This is about 4, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 gallons of apples wasted. I think I'm going to grab my harvesting pole and just harvest these apples and then ripen them up inside. Maybe I'll dehydrate some of them, maybe I'll freeze some of them, maybe I'll cook some of them. I don't know if I can make applesauce. I'm not that good at cook. Some of these are kind of stunted and not worth saving, but there's a lot of good apples up there. And there's even more on that other tree over here. That thing's huge. Yeah, just finished the raspberry harvest. That wasn't a huge amount, but and then basically raspberries, they have like a 2-year life cycle. They basically grow as canes the first year, and then they basically then they sort of grow horizontal, and the stem turns black or brown and it looks more like wood, and then those little offshoots, they produce the raspberries. So unless you want to have like this giant freaking raspberry jungle like this, because they're related to blackberries, and unless you want to have a giant humongous pile like I have back there in the blackberries, you got to take a few steps. I let some of this lettuce, which bolted, I let it go to seed, and hopefully it'll self-seed, and that would be highly cool. Got some acorn squash coming up. Yeah, there's one. They're not ready yet. The stem, when the stem turns black, it's ready to be harvested. Hey Dad, how you doing?
Morning.
I cut out all of the first year canes, or the second year canes, because yeah, they have finished. So yeah. Then I basically re-secured all these things, the first year vines, to the trellis, and next year we will have even more raspberries. We've got like 3 times more plants than we had before. Good times. And yeah, acorn squash, that one's not ready for harvest either. Yeah, I got about 13 gallons of apples that I picked up off of the ground over the last few days, and that's not acceptable. I'm going to compost them, and then basically harvest the trees. I'm going to grab the harvesting pole out, pick them, and I'll see about getting a deep freezer, and then basically have it turned down to like as low as it'll go. Maybe it'll be above freezing. Otherwise, I'll have to get a kit to alter the temperature. So yeah, 13 gallons of apples on the ground and smashed. Not good.
I see apples clear 30 feet up.
Yeah, yeah. We've got to trim these trees this winter.
Too bad.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about those.
After the leaves come down, if we can cut that thing, we can cut about, well, where you see the skirt of the tree. You could go about another third up and cut everything above that. I believe it would live.
Yeah, we'll do that.
It would live, and then in future years it would be much more productive.
Yeah, we just didn't have time. It was just crazy moving in here and all that shit.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Did you see the acorn squash? Got several of them underneath there. I mean, you can't really see them underneath the foliage, but they are there. We've got tons of green beans over here, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We could boil some of those up.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I have to go to sleep because I work nights.
Yeah, and it is time to mow the lawn, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. You could whack the dandelion tops off. Now that the rain isn't as thick as it was, we don't have a huge amount of grass growing, but the dandelion tops, they could use.
They do look
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah. Potatoes are about ready for harvest. You notice how they're dying back?
Yeah, I see them.
Yep, good times. Acorn squash.
Oh, look at that beauty down
Yeah. Notice the stem isn't brown though, so you can't harvest it yet. It just won't taste very good. As soon as these things all look like this, the potatoes will be ready to dig. Brussels sprouts, first year trying to grow those. Yeah. Oh well, I'm going to get to composting these apples. Hey, you should check out the blackberries. There's tons of them.
Yeah, I ate myself full of them.
So, I'm going to lose a lot of those apples, but I'll see what I can collect. And then I'll ripen them up inside. Yeah, good times. Well, what else is going on? I got slammed onto graveyard shift. I didn't fight too hard because I'm a single guy. And there are some married guys that actually possibly could have gone in my place, but yeah, it would have hosed them up pretty good. Well, that's about it. Other than that, still buying bitcoins, still basically saving every penny I can, because the economy isn't getting any better, as you guys probably well know. And as long as you have money coming in, save it as hard as you can. And work that overtime if they give it to you too. I got 1 day this week as well. And I'm putting that money away. See ya. Oh, one last thing I should probably mention. If you guys ever encounter an apple tree, or if you have one on your property, or even next door, the best thing to do is, if you have a lot of fruit on the ground, it's a good idea to pick it up and compost it, because the bugs, the fruit flies and the worms and all that, don't have that many. That might be a wormhole. Anyway, what they do is, I don't know if that is or not, that might be branch damage. Anyway, the fruit fly lands on the fruit and then lays an egg, and then the worm burrows in, starts eating the seeds, the tree then senses that the seeds are being destroyed, and then it drops the apple. And no point in investing a lot of resources in creating that apple if it doesn't actually have a chance of creating a new apple tree. So what happens then is it drops to the ground, then the worm crawls out of the apple and burrows into the ground and turns into a pupa, and then turns into a fly and flies out, and then just bombards the living crap out of your fruit tree. And if that happens like more than a few times, you have massive numbers of freaking fruit flies just all over your friggin' tree, just destroying it. Some permaculture people, they actually, if they can't, I mean, they harvest their trees and everything, but if they some fruit will fall, and what they do is oftentimes they run pigs underneath the trees within electric net fencing or something, and then or chickens do it too, but basically the hogs, they will just police up all of those apples and consign those worm larvae to a horrible death. And then basically you break the pest cycle, and then you don't have to worry about the pests as much, and then you don't have to spray. Some orchards, you know, the chem orchards, you know, the Monsanto orchards, they actually sometimes, if it's not economical, they don't even harvest their trees, and they just let the fruit rot. There was a moth infection of some kind in California, and the farmers or the orchard people, they just let the thing go, and they're just turning their whole orchard into a giant breeding ground for that pest. And the best thing to do in that case is to find a local organic hog farmer and run those hogs underneath those trees, and that would break that pest cycle. So there you are. I don't know how relevant this is to MGTOW, but this is my thing. This is what I enjoy. Someday, maybe I can do it full time. See ya. Yeah, these won't go to waste. Too bad there's not a shed under that tree too. What fun.